Boosie. Make sure y'all subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, man. Hit the like button, man. We got to get in that algorithm, man. We not playing with this one. It's go time. It's go time, y'all. Trump going crazy on him right now. Trump going crazy in D.C. He been saying he gonna sign a lot of bills, and matter of fact, excuse me, he been signing a lot of bills. He been doing a lot of things that we might want to just call a shock value, if that's what we want to call it. But he's been shocking with a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff, man. That's really got our people going crazy. A lot of Democrats is not feeling it. A lot not feeling it. A lot of our people haven't really felt the real effect of, if certain bills is going to get passed for housing, for Medicaid. A lot of that stuff be gone. Man, we going to be in shambles out here. Now, we hear him talking about a lot of these bills being passed as far as things where you have to pay for things on your own. But we need to hear more about the economy, giving good jobs, better pay, things of that nature. So how are we going to even it out with things high as such as eggs? What else? Just a lot of stuff that's costing a lot of money, and there's not a lot of money being made at the jobs that most people have. And what about the people that's not working? They better get on their job ASAP, or they better go get on a job ASAP, because it's going to get crazy, because homie is not playing, man. He is not playing and doing this new, I don't know what he calling it. They calling it a test run. DC is the first test run as far as him doing this, deploying federal agents in the streets the same way they have police out there policing the streets. That's getting ready to be a lot of commotion, man. I'm kind of scared for the people that is not doing nothing, and they get jumped out on, handcuffed for nothing. Another thing is, are the jails going to be overcrowded? Do they got enough jails to house people? Because they're already going crazy about jails. I know in New York, they going crazy about the jails being overcrowded. Certain things that you used to get locked up for in New York, they'll write you a ticket for now, man. For real. Carlos, what's good? But I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to let y'all see this quick clip that Jazzy Barnes sent me showing what they doing. Hold on.
Oh my God. What the f? No, they really hopping out. Oh, it's real. They really coming to your churches and jumping out and bagging your bro. They ain't all tight, boy. What the f? Oh my God. What the f?
And that's something like, man. I didn't get a big clip. She sent me that. I'm going to find me another clip that's big, but it's showing that they are not playing. They are really outside, just pulling up in anything and everything. Now, from what I'm hearing, a lot of these accusations as far as DC having a crime, the crime has risen, or the crime is up high. They say that's a hoax. That's not even true. They say, statistically speaking, the crime rate in D.C. has gotten lower. Like, so what's the meaning of all of this? What's the end game for all of this? Putting them police out there like that, putting federal agents out there like that, and amongst the regular citizens with that type of, or should I say, that much boots on the ground, that much or that many authority figures out there that can put you behind them bars. If you walk by the wrong way, if they feel you did something wrong, they can just lock you up. Is that the goal, or do they still respect people's constitutional rights? But I'm gonna let y'all hear from the mayor,
You've said that the president's
the
decision to
governor,
deploy
excuse
the
me.
National Guard, you called it deeply dangerous. What's your message to citizens who say regardless of crime data or trends, this makes them feel safer?
Well, I'm embarrassed. I'm angered. And frankly, I'm heartbroken for the members of the National Guard who are asked to take on this mission. As someone who has served this country overseas and who has led soldiers in combat, and as someone who is not just the 63rd governor of Maryland, but also the commander-in-chief of the Maryland National Guard, I take very seriously about how, when, and why I deploy members of our National Guard in cases of emergency and in true crises. And I will not authorize the usage of Maryland National Guard forces for missions that I do not deem to be either mission critical or mission aligned. And what we are seeing right now, this distraction, distracting away from the fact that Donald Trump's policies have caused unemployment to go up, have caused people to lose their health care, has caused children to be able to lose their food benefits, and he's now using this as a tool. He's using military personnel, these citizen soldiers, as a cudgel and as a tool to be able to advance his political purposes, because if he really wants to address the issue of violent crime, he just needs to look at what we've done in the state of Maryland over the past 2.5 years, where when I first became the governor in 2022, Baltimore was averaging almost a murder a day. Now, the homicide rate in Baltimore is nearly a 50-year low, and we have watched how the state of Maryland has essentially helped to lead the country in drops in violent crime, in drops in non-fatal shootings, in drops in carjackings. So if he truly wants to understand how to lower crime, he should pay attention to what we're doing in the state of Maryland. And I did it without ever having to once operationalize our National Guard to do municipal policing.
You've said that the president's decision to deploy the National Guard, you called it.
And see, this is what he's saying. He's saying deploying the National Guard to go out there to do that is really unnecessary and is really irrelevant, because even if it is about violence, he needs to figure out how to do it. He should have watched what Maryland did, which is true now. What normally what states would do, they would get together and compare notes and exchange information on how to do that. They would exchange information. Now that would be a smart thing to do, instead of putting the National Guard out there and having all these other things that will be created in the mean streets. Created because regular people can get hurt. Law-abiding citizens that look like they might be a thug just because of the way they dress, but they just regularly go to work every day, can get in some harm's way dealing with these police. And then we already know how the police get away with murder, unaliving people, right on camera. And now you would deploy federal agents also out there with regular policemen. That's going to be turmoil in the National Guard. So thank God that we have a guy that understands what's going on. And he said he will not deploy none of his National Guard, and it's not a real crisis. But he's saying what Trump is doing is really throwing shade to what he got going on to his political campaign. And then you got to understand too that Epstein or whatever list, they've been hiding from that. That's what's been going on, and they're trying to say they want Trump to show what he was doing or show the list because Trump might be on that list. And they saying he's doing a lot of distractions from that. For real. My Les Ross said he called them hours after Capitol was breached, not talking about when they actually came. Somebody said, God, thank God Trump knows what he's doing. What is Trump doing? Break that down. Somebody else said it is a crisis. What's the crisis? They saying that the crime in DC is not high. It's actually at its all-time low. So for the feds to be out there, National Guard to come out also with the police, that is unacceptable. Don't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. And still in all, they got enough police power to handle things. I can see it if you keep hearing about somebody getting unalived every day, and it's like they running out of ways to do or ways to handle it. But that's not true. They got enough power. They have enough police power. They got enough police power to handle that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second. But they got enough police power to handle what's going on. Sit down. Excuse me, y'all. I'm coming back. My nieces just came in. Hold on, y'all. Come here. Come here. Come here. Excuse me, y'all. My nieces just came in the house. They down here visiting. But yeah, I'm back. What up, Jazzy Barnes? Jazzy said, yep, it's going to cause DC to lose a lot of tourism money and economic decrease with all of that. Yeah, because even you go out there touring, first of all, why it would make them lose people visiting is because it's going to sound like a lot of crime is going on. So why would I want to go out there? You haven't heard about any tourists complaining about they seen people being unalived or they were scared to be out there. Now they're going to not want to be out there because they saying that all them, that police and Fed movement going on, something must be going on. So they're not going to want to go out there. So that's going to lower the economy for people that own businesses. People that own businesses out there are going to lose money paying their rent, their light bill. They got bills to pay. So no money is being made through with the extra money that comes into the city besides the citizens that live there. That's going to be a big blow in the economy up there. Make a whole bunch of sense, man. Whole bunch of sense. Hannibal said Trump fortifying D.C. because he plans on running for another term. I don't know how much fortifying that's going to be, or why would that make his term look bigger, or give him a chance of winning, because it will make, to me, somebody said Trump can't do a third term. I mean, to me, it looked like he's causing a lot of turmoil. And you know, I'm not one of them guys that's against everything that Trump does. I'm not with a lot of things that he do, because, you know, everybody have good things that people like about him. Everybody have bad things that they like about him. So I'm just saying. But this right here that will cause turmoil, and people will get their family members hurt by police, and then when the officers review the tapes, they'll say, well, we see it was certified, justified for them to do so, and it's right on camera when it's really not, and it's at the call of the person that is in higher power. That's not cool. When you create that type of thing, it's just like people in the hood. Me growing up around cats, when we used to be out, the one or maybe two of them that got that, you know what, the tool in their hand, they feel like they want to start trouble now. No, that's not for you to want to start trouble. That's for protection. So when police are out there, they feel inferior. They can do what they want. They already feel they can talk to you like you they child, and they talking to a person either older than them, and they like little kids that they hiring now. and or the same age. You can't talk to me like that. They have no respect factor. You have some that does, but the majority of them don't. Let's just be real. Jazzy said then think about the people that ain't really agents that's gonna be plotting too. Facts. Ladies, Lady Sisu, I can't understand what she meaning. Diane Scott, he only sees what he chooses. He's nuts. That's what Diane Scott says. And you know, somebody has to report that stuff to him because he's not outside. So, and he actually have to see paperwork, police reports, or you know, annual things that shows where um, murders are higher than last year, or murders are higher than last year, excuse me, and you know, things of that nature. And that would make him have to make a decision like that. But that would, the news would tell that all by watching showing every day something happens every day. The mayor, that governor just said it. It was a unalive person every day in Maryland until they fixed it. So in Baltimore, and that ain't nothing but like 15, 20 minutes apart. They right there. They can exchange information on how to get those crimes down. Carjacking is down. Everything is down. So it's like, I'm not understanding what's the purpose of that, man. I got nephews up there. I got friends that I care about up there, man. That's a dangerous one. Hannibal said Trump also said grocery prices are low. I don't know how true that is. I haven't heard anybody saying grocery prices are low. Zun said I heard they arrested 23 people already. That's crazy. Now, if they jumped out and these 23 people didn't know what was going on, I'm sure it's that type of crime. 23 is kind of low for me. I was thinking that you would have mentioned they arrested 100, 150 people by now. Because it's not a fact that people is not doing crimes and doing ignorant stuff. They doing it in every city, every state, everywhere. So for the police to just start coming out and jumping out of nowhere in any kind of cars and trucks, you would think that it would have been more than 23 people. But 23 people is kind of a sign to show you that it ain't really that much crime happening up there with all that police present being out there. So that right there alone says it all. So I'm glad you shared that with us. And Jazzy Barnes said, where groceries low at? Right. I haven't heard anybody talking about no groceries is low. I just said that earlier. The eggs cost. Let's just start there with eggs. When I first seen the eggs, when they skyrocketed, I thought I was in the wrong store. They might have put the wrong price tag on the eggs. I said, what? Almost ain't make me want to buy no eggs. I'm like, yo, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Yeah, they better have their ID on them at all times, Jazzy. That's a fact. That'll be another thing. But in D.C., do they have to have their ID? At some states, you don't have to have your ID, and you don't have to ID it. Michael Brown said, telling you, get ready for mass arrest. I mean, I'm waiting to see. But for them to say it's 23 already, that's a low rate. It should have came out with 100. That would have made me look like, okay, Trump know what he talking about. But it don't look like he know what he talking about because it's only 23 people. D.C. is not small, and D.C. is known for, just like any other city, having crime. But I'm not going to say a lot of crime to the point of where what Trump is talking about, why for reasons of him deploying The National Guard and the federal agents out there. Come on, federal agents have bigger things to do, bigger fish to fry. What they look like being out there. I'm sure they probably mad as HELL that they have to be out there. For real, for real. They probably like, man, this is some bogus, fugazi stuff, unless it's his people and they don't mind running around. Barnes said, Jazzy Barnes said, with all that ICE stuff mess around and someone ship you off somewhere, right? And that too, what if somebody gets shipped off and the wrong information get crossed up through the police and now they gonna say, oh, well, we messed up. And then forget about you trying to help you get back with no problem or nothing. That's crazy. That's wild, man. Lady Sisu said, what about due process? Yeah, what about due process? Let's talk about that. Do they care about due process? When have they ever even cared about due process? That's a good one, Lady Sue. When do they care about due process? They don't care about it now. It's a lot of innocent people that's in jail, man. And they can't get out until they get an appeal. And now you seeing how they don't even want to let people out with the appeals. And it take forever. Then they got to go to the highest, to the next court. They violate all your rights by putting you in there. Let's go there. And then don't let you do the proper procedure. They even have some of the best lawyers, man. And they still deny the best lawyers when they file motions, the proper motions. And a judge will still deny it, knowing that the due process was done wrong through the prosecutors. We used to have good judges that that flip out on these prosecutors that be trying those tricks. You have a few, but they spread it out. It's deep. Zunbar said they deported a few Asians to South Sudan, dumped them there, and let's go Africa too. What? That's wild. They don't care about any of us. Diane Scott. Half the time they guilty of things they convicted us of. Yeah, half the time they are guilty of those things. Yeah, they do it and can get away with it because they got immunity. Hannibal said judges are compromised these days, picking political sides. Facts. And especially like we can get into the Puff stuff, how they doing him. I don't want to get into too much with Puff. I want to stick on this subject with Trump. But we seeing it right first in front of our eyes how they really doing people. Look at let's go Tory Lanez. They just denied his damn. I got 50 things going through my head. They just denied his appeal, man. And he didn't, no fingerprints, no nothing on the gun, nothing. Jay said, do you think it's needed in Chicago though? The way I'm hearing about Chicago, I don't know. Now, see, if they'd have said Chicago, I wouldn't be up here. And a lot of people probably wouldn't either. Because Chicago has that reputation almost to the point where they love having that reputation that they not nothing to play with. The other day, there was a mass shooting in Baltimore, 38 dead in one day. Wow. Now, that's deep. And that governor was just up there saying how the shooting is down. But you know, when you get those mass shootings anyway, you had no control over no one idiot that do the copycat stuff that they see everywhere else. So I get it. But you know, mainly just citizens, meaning street guys, they are still considered citizens of the states wherever they at, being out every day, shooting and popping each other every day. Terrell V said, corruption has always been universal, right? Some more corrupt than others. That's a fact. He also said he's going to every black city and sanctuary city, yeah? Right, because, right, is he deploying them in the white people areas? Yeah, he pardoned Kodak. That's a fact. Who else he pardoned? He pawned Kodak. He pawned somebody else too. Think Lil Wayne. Facts. Lil Wayne. That's a fact. Bong James. Dan Scott said, first time watching, you're a good guy and real. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for that, man. I try to keep it real as much as I can. That's why it's called Street Knowledge. I like to give that knowledge, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Somebody said, what the F are the white people areas? I mean, it's just common sense. They have sides, the majority where white people live and the majority of where black people live. And now they have sides where black people are living and they are building new buildings and a lot of white people are moving in. It's called gentrification. So that's my point. So if you didn't know that, oh yeah, NBA young boy, that's a fact. And you know, things like that is why I like Trump. And you know, because a lot of these charges that people got and are in jail for them, they just those are a little too much for that, man, for real. John Stradar said, yeah, stop committing crimes. I agree. Stop committing crimes. But you can't hold one person that commit a crime for them to put out all those police out there because they got one or maybe 10 or 15 people, but you have a capacity of 100,000 people. And I'm just giving you an example that live somewhere. You don't need all that many police and government officials all in one place that will jump out on somebody and hurt somebody that actually don't do nothing, that might look like somebody, because some of us all dress the same, but we ain't out there committing crimes. We get up every day and go to work. We can't help that we like wearing what everybody else wear. So that's not good. They said Trump should release Epstein files now. Serious Snipe said, yeah, but that's what they saying. He's throwing the shade by putting all this police and federal governments outside to throw off people paying that any attention. Mason Petty said, it's called rent is cheaper on your side. Yeah, it depends where you live at, because there's some sides in the urban area, rent is a lot of money too, because they got a lot of new stuff built up. A lot of our brothers and sisters, who is this, Terrell V? A lot of our brothers and sisters from other countries always talks about black Americans always complain, but they are not the minority in their country, and their ancestors wasn't enslaved. That's a fact. Jim Crow laws. Trump should release all Epstein files now, somebody said. He's hiding from it, man. Y'all keep putting that up there. He wants to waste money for unnecessary ish. We all working people need social services. Somebody said the hood just mad they stopping the flow. I mean, they probably is, but it's more deeper than them stopping the flow. And that's neither here nor there. They outside, and that's dangerous. We already know how police do. Police don't play fair. You got some that does, and you got some that don't. It's crazy, man. They said Trump trying to help DC. Okay, let's see what up, Craig Williams. What's good? deport all the illegals. I mean, I agree with that. If they are illegal, then yeah, you got to do things the right way. They want us to do things the right way. That's a fact. So I agree. Corey Bishop was good. But it ain't, it's not fair to law abiding citizens, excuse me, when they pay their taxes and then they gotta walk outside wanting to just go to the store, maybe the park, and they gotta see police jumping out or walking up or might even walk over to them and start asking them questions. And the only thing they doing is minding their business, wanting to go home. That's it. Joy Patrol said, money that is spent on food services in Section 8, money and other services for the poor, and Trump spends 3 times that in just one day of playing golf. That's deep. What happens when they switch up and deport all blacks? Where could they deport blacks to? That's what I just asked Zun. You just talking, saying something like that. That could never happen. Gary Humbre, what about the people minding their own business that get robbed? Right, we worry about that, but they don't need that many police, that many federal agents. So they don't need that many. If police was out really doing their jobs, a lot of people wouldn't get robbed. If they wouldn't allow police to bother people all the time and you fit the description. And if it was, once you see that it ain't that person, get back on your job looking for the person. No, they'll still sit there and hold the person and antagonize the person and instead of going to find the right person. Or if they just bored, they jump out and bother somebody and make up a reason to say that they bothering them. And then when the person know their laws and their rights, then they try to find something to put on them once this person show them, no, you don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. I don't have to answer your questions, blah, 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 blah. Then they keep trying to come up with something. Instead of being somewhere doing police business, maybe less people will be not getting robbed. Maybe more people will not be getting pow. Because police is somewhere sitting where they need to be, not bothering innocent people because of the color of their skin or the way that they look or the way that they dress. Maybe crime would go down then. It's crazy. It's wild what's going on right now, man. They already have a quarter of black males. Yeah, they got 23, so 2 more is 25. Gary said, no way I would live in these big Democrat ran cities, man. Well, Trump is not a Democrat, so main reason crime is high because the cost of living is up. I get it. That always be the case too. This is happening because police wasn't doing their jobs. That's a big reason. That's a big reason. Police not where they supposed to be. And they out bothering people. Look how many lawsuits there are from police bothering people, harming people, hurting people, unaliving people. Look how many lawsuits there are in different states from police just doing that alone when they could have been somewhere handling real crime or worrying about real crime, and they not. This is crazy. Somebody, SPS says, happening because parents wasn't doing their jobs. That can be added to it too. A lot of people don't know how to control their kids and let their kids do anything at an early age. Judges and DA not doing their jobs. Paul Quarrel, that's a fact. I agree to that. That's a fact. Just look at the rent in the hood. A studio is $1,500 to $2,000 for a medium okay area. That's deep. What city is that though? Depends on the city, but that's true though. A studio, just a bathroom and a kitchen and a room. Melvin Chambers said, I thought crime was down 62% in DC. That's my point, what I was saying earlier, that crime was supposed to be down. So why are they having the federal or the National Guard deployed out there and just running through the hoods like it's nothing? Gary Ombre said, take responsibility for your actions. Stop blaming people. What actions? Nobody's blaming nobody except for the person who put people, or should I say, law enforcement at a high quantity inside of neighborhoods that is unnecessary. It's bad enough that the regular police be out there unaliving people, beating people up, tasing them. Sometimes they pass away from being tased, locking them up just because they get mad because the person tell them don't talk to me the way I'm not your child, and they want to poke their chests out, and that's dangerous right now. It has nothing to do with nothing else about blaming nobody. It's about speaking facts. Somebody said, I think you answered your own question. If cops aren't doing their job, then the military has to do it. Okay, so the cops not doing their job. You don't do your job at where you work at. What happens to you? You get fired and somebody else replaces. So all those cops should get fired and then let the military come in, being that you saying something slick and you really not. Somebody said, be polite and you won't get stomped. Yeah, you can be polite, but you don't have to be, you don't have to ass kiss neither. You can let a person know, why are you bothering me? I'm minding my business. And that still can be taken out of content. Barnes said, how much money does it cost to do this in DC compared to putting money there to create more jobs for the people? Exactly. Put money into the city where more jobs can be created. And you know, it goes the same when you're in a relationship. If you ain't working, you got too much time on your hand to worry about what that person doing. But if people got jobs, they ain't got time to be out there doing crime. Gary Ombre said, I'm out. You believe everything y'all see on MSNBC and CNN. Wow. I mean, we only can see from what we do, from what we see. And not only that, we have people that live in the city and actually telling us what's going on. So you have to watch MSNBC. Some of us have family out there. So that don't make sense what you talking about. Trump is taking responsibility for his actions because I know if I don't pay taxes for the same amount of years he hasn't, I know I'd be arrested. Okay, thank you. We paying attention to that. I know that. That's a fact. You don't pay them taxes to see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen. We are in a world where we have no control. We are in a world where our politicians not even controlling it and putting it in perspective for us, the ones that we vote for. The ones we vote for. And I hear them talk every day. I hear them talk every day. And, you know, I hear them saying the things what need to be done and what they want to do and what they're going to fight for. I'm listening. I watch Donald Rowland. That's his name. I like his channel. I watch him. I watch, because he do a lot of political stuff up there. Roland, what is Roland Martin? Indisputable with Dr. Richie. I watch a lot of that stuff. Anderson Patterson said, you notice all the cities he going after has black mayors. I ain't pay that no attention. That's deep. Damn. Yeah, Don Lemon. Or get a felony when you black and see what kind of good paying job you can get. But yet, some can become president, make that make sense. With a felony, right? Wow. That's deep. That's very deep. And chosen one judges. Gary Ombre said, you seem like a smart guy, man. You need to open your ears to Thomas Sowell and some other views. I mean, I will. Direct me in the right path, because a lot of these things need to be discussed. And a lot of these things that we're talking about right now, we need to talk about it so we can keep each other abreast and aware of what's going on. Because this is very serious, man. It's not serious now because y'all didn't hear about nobody getting beat down or tased, and think hopefully not unalived, and hopefully not none of that, to be honest. So, it's crazy. It's crazy what's happening. And they saying this is a test run. This is only a test run because they going to DC, Chicago. They're going to New York, Chicago. I want to say they said LA. Mr. Primetime DC, they trying to start something. What they trying to start? I'm trying to figure out what they trying to start. Because it seemed like it's something real dangerous to me as far as civil unrest. It sounds like they putting a lot of citizens in danger, man, with that. Gary Ombre said they are trying to stop. What they trying to stop? Mr. Primetime DC said revoke. Joe Patrol said Trump just want the label. The label of what? Gary Ombre says stop crime. They are not stopping crime. It's more than just stopping crime, because it's going to be police now just going to be committing the crime, and it's going to be on our citizens. They are trying to stop these kids, man. I live here. A gang of 12 to 14-year-old girls attacked my old boss and took his stuff. Happens all the time. I get it. I understand. These little kids is out of control. They are. They doing stuff for nothing. They don't even know why they doing it. They wake up every day with their mindset of they either going to jail or they going to be unalived or they going to unalive somebody. Stupidity. And we do have to blame some of the parents to let them do what they want to do growing up. So the only thing they know is go out and be silly. And also, a lot of them don't have fathers in the household. But I know a lot of mothers that held it down with some boy with raising boys and even girls, but boys is more harder when it comes to being outside. But a lot of single women holds it down. It's just they got to put their foot down, man. And somebody asked me, how do you stop them then? I mean, that's not nothing that you could just think of overnight. You have to come up with some other kind of ways that can. Maybe some different type of laws for those young cats that's out there doing ignorance. And you know, they think being part of a gang is something big. They think that it's something that's heartfelt. They think that it's, that their friends love them to death, literally. But when they go to jail or get locked up, none of their friends come, and that's when they learn the hard way. But it's another one right after them standing in their place while they are in jail. So it's like it's wild, but social media is the responsible for putting these crimes as fun in the way the kids see videos. That's a great point. Also, social media is because people glorify and they want, and TV is powerful. So this is the closest thing to somebody being on TV, having their own little social media. They can do what they want, and then people comment on it, and they think that is cool until they're in a cell by themselves. And that's just the thing. That's a great point. Social media is. Mr. Primetime said all the cities he named have a large number of our peoples. Yeah, that's a fact. Cashless bail isn't the answer. But what do you mean cashless bail? A bail's bondsman can't get you out? Or meaning um you can't bail out without cash. Like they can't let you go on your own. You gotta pay cash. And that really wouldn't work if it's that way, because somebody will eventually come up with the cash and get a person out of jail. Primetime, Mr. Primetime said DC don't have bail. So that wouldn't be the case there. I didn't know that. You can't get bailed out in DC? I thought DC, bail is not a punishment. Bail is just a incentive that you coming back to court. I've never heard like that that they would deny a person bail, or that's a law that is not bail. I never heard of that. Paul Quell said he stayed the weeks in the county for driving without a license. They only go to jail for violence. Jazzy Bourne said, what kind of federal agents and military was dispatched to the January 6th Capitol takeover insurrection? Yeah, exactly. Not only that, he gave them a pardon. He pardoned the people that took over the building. When they got their time, he pardoned every last one of them, because they was in there fighting for the rights of him, or just in his honor, should I say. That's deep. That's very deep, y'all. But he definitely didn't deploy no federal agents when them people was out there breaking into them into that building, into the Capitol building, man. So a lot of things is not going on in DC to the extent of like people rioting. If people was rioting, and that's what the governor from Maryland was saying. If it's not no real crisis, there's no need for him to dispatch um his the National Guard. He don't think that that's fair, and he feels sorry for them if they the ones that do have to go out there. Jazzy Barnes said, "Imagine if black people would have done that. Oh my God, whatever time that the people got for doing that would have been double the time on top of that, and it would have been ignored, and they just will still be sitting in there right now." But Trump has pardoned black people, so it ain't about him not uh, pardoning black people. I'm just saying it wouldn't have been a big thought process. Well, maybe if they was for him, I don't know, Jazzy, but if they was in there fighting for him, you think he would have pardoned a bunch of black people? But it might would have been uglier because it might have been way more brutal force. It wouldn't have been a lot of people just getting handcuffed. So I don't know which one you think. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I need y'all to let me know. What part I said, Paul Cruel? Joe Patrol said Mexico helped in the Texas flood first before the governor or Trump. Now you see what is his primary goal. That's a fact, Paul Cruel. It would have been way more. It would have been way more violence against the people that was breaking in. For real, for real. Paul Shannon said that's his plan: surround Washington and then declare martial war. That's like almost a setup. That's like entrapment to make something like that happen. And presidents still have people he have to answer to for certain things, man. And would you think that they would allow him to be able to create martial law? That'll be crazy, man. It's dangerous up there right now for my family and friends, man. I ain't feeling this. What's going on? All this talking to y'all got me thinking twice with certain things that I wasn't even thinking, man. How is what he's doing going to change what got these people there in the first place? That's a good answer. I mean, a good question, rather. Drugs are shipped to the U.S. for U.S. consumers. D.C. is a unique place because it's controlled by Congress. So where would martial law come in at? How could Trump just let that happen? Jazzy Barnes said, and don't get it twisted. We don't know how much money Kodak Black or NBA YoungBoy donated or slid to Trump. That's deep. People could pay their way up out of whatever they need to now. And Trump is a hustler. Malcolm X said we should learn to live separate groups of people, to live on this earth together in peace as mass, but as separated peoples. Why is that? Jamal said control is what it is at the end of the day. That's Trump. He been since 2000 telling us what he coming to do. So you thinking, this was Jamal. Jamal said that. So you thinking Trump is just utilizing it because he feel good to have that power? Mm. I don't know, man. This is a rough one that we living in right now, people. And we got to pay attention to what's going on. Because, yeah, Mr. Primetime said Trump testing the water. Yeah, to see how far he can go with it and see how far it will go. Jamal say he want power like that's his obsession. Yeah, to show that he can do it. And he's sitting behind a desk and he's chilling while a bunch of turmoil is going on outside. And I'm going to say unnecessary turmoil, meaning that the people that is being approached by these police that haven't done anything, and just a police presence in front of you is spooky and scary because you don't know what they're gonna do, what's their next move, and they have the license to do so. They have license to unalive people and be able to get away with it. So you don't even know as there's people approaching you. You just want to go to the store. You just coming from work. You on your way to work, and these police approaching you. That's very dangerous within itself, and especially when they all out there together at an all-time high. They feel more, especially the ones that's cocky. They feel more arrogant, and they can do what they want to do, and they don't care about what nobody said because they got the right to do it. To be out there because they got sent out there by the big boss, the big boy, the president. They said not one Republican has the balls to stand up to Trump. And why is that? Tony Oceanway said, Orange man bad, shaking my head. You are the definition of delusion. Somebody said, I stay in the house if the cops are swarming, but the way they're going to put them out there now, they're going to be swarming for a long time. So how long you going to stay in the house? Jamal said all he needed was supporters and constitutional power. That connection influenced debates and keeps his opinion number one in affairs. Tony said, Ocean Way, we stand with Trump. Melissa McNeely said that is what Trump is all about, chaos. I don't know, man. This is a rough one, y'all. We're going to have to see how this thing play out. We're going to have to see how it play out and where it goes, man. Hopefully that no citizens get hurt. Hopefully no police officers get hurt. And if one does get hurt, you can imagine what's going to happen to the person that actually hurt an officer or even tried. And that really could have been avoided by this not even happening. Kathy Sabar said, no, Trump is about money. I agree with that. He about some money. Let's just hope that nobody gets hurt, officers and or citizens. Hopefully they tell their officers before they let them go out and leave out of their building that don't go out there cocky, talk to the citizens, make sure everybody's doing the right thing and things of that nature. Because my point is, what is their assignment when they go out there? Step to anybody that look like they doing wrong. Approach them, ask for ID, throw them on the wall. Stop and frisk them. Is that even legal? Benja said, we all know he hates DC. He said Trump hates DC. Is that true? Mr. Primetime said the longer they're there, the more tension it will create. And that's my point. It's a lot of tension. And tension always usually explodes. For real. K-Bar said we got to have respect to each other, for each other rather, whatever. But at the end of the day, and Cheryl Wilson said peace interactions. But, you know, it's hard when a man walk up to you with a uniform on and talk to you like you their child. But I would still say, all right, no problem. No, I ain't do this. No, I would stay under the guidelines of the law, talk to them with respect, and let them go ahead and do their job. But I wouldn't consent to no searching. I wouldn't consent to, you don't need to see my ID unless y'all show me the new law that's passed where we have to show ID. The Constitution is not a part of our constitutional rights anymore. That's the only way. Other than that, yeah, be respectful and talk to them respectful. That's what I want to say to all my Washington, D.C. citizens that will have an interaction with police or a federal government agent. Just be respectful. That's what I advise. Don't get mad. Don't be trying to fight back because you're not going to win. You have no wins. You're going to have them all jump on you, tase you, cuff you, take you downtown, put you in jail, then add another charge on you, and you was just going to get a loaf of bread from the store. Don't make the situation worse than what it is. Just kill. It's called killing with kindness, man. And that's what all the citizens need to do up there. Y'all need to kill them with kindness. Kill the police with kindness. Not aggravation, not with using, the GUNs, none of that, knives, nothing. Kindness. Give them no room to breathe. And if they want to cuff you and they cuffing you illegal, don't be arguing and fighting because you know you are right. Just go down there and let them see that they violated and then get your lawsuits together. Make this a lawsuit prone project that is being put out. Lawsuit prone project. No arguing, no nothing. If they cuff you, just get cuffed and get in the car. No fighting back so they can say you're resisting, even though that's a second offense because you have to be arrested for something to be resisting. Don't argue, man. He's trying to come for Jamie Raskin in Maryland. So yeah, that's my advice to my DC people, man. Those amendments that causes the interaction should be in power for the cause. But unfortunately, everybody don't see politics the same. So protection is necessary. Protection that everybody is safe. Yeah, it depends what you're using the protection for. Sometimes you got to know how to play defense, which controls a good offense. It's like Kung Fu and karate. Kung Fu is defense. Karate is offense. Defense wins games in football and basketball. You can win a game, you keeping the defense up. So your defense is be nice. That's it. Okay, yes, sir. No problem. No, that's not what I want to do by the constitutional rights of the Fourth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. You know that type of lingo and say it respectfully. If they exceed their boundaries and bypass what you're saying, then don't argue. Just put your hands behind your back if that's what they tell you to do, or just don't say nothing. Look up the Equal Protection Clause of the Fourth Amendment. The Constitution is our guide and Bible, yes, and everybody know officers don't go by that. They'll figure it out in court, and they don't care. They'll get fired and go get hired somewhere else or get hired back on the same force later. Defense is the best offense. Steve Roman, that's a fact. That's what I just said. It's the best offense. Read the 14th Amendment, 4th Amendment due process. Exactly. What's the cause? Disagree with trying to mitigate crime in one of the biggest crime-riddled places of the United States? You're not sitting there to mitigate crime. You are there to just let them know, I'm going to the store. I'm not doing nothing. I don't consent to a search. You don't have to consent. If they say, well, we searching you anyway, don't say, man, get off me. Don't stop and fighting back. And no, that's unnecessary. Right there is where you're going to lose. Okay, y'all searching me. Let me get your badge number. What's your name? Respectfully, being that y'all searching me, I do have the right to ask for your badge number. You got to do everything the correct way. Melvin Coakley said, what is your advice for innocent citizens who live amid civil disobedience? I'm going to let somebody else answer that one for you. Because I'm speaking about innocent citizens who lives and do things the correct way and still get harassed by police. And feel that they don't have to do nothing, that they are being harassed and want to turn it into a back and forth with the officers, what I'm speaking. And don't do that. Even though you know you didn't do nothing wrong, if they cuff you, then they just cuff you. And you have to go and fight fire with fire by doing lawsuits. DJ Momo, keep giving out good information, King Facts. I got to, man, because a lot of our people don't understand it because they feel when they right, they right. But you can't hold court in the street with the police when they going against everything that's right. They don't care. Ben just said, please look up the median salary of D.C. residents and come back and say crime riddled. How can one group of people be smart enough to prepare for disaster and conditions of the areas they live in or move to or choose for themselves? Whatever that means, what is the disaster? What are you talking about? Benito said, because they are wise. So yeah, man. Y'all be safe out there, DC, man, for real. Cause it's dangerous right now, man, for anybody. And I'm not saying for the guys who do crime. If y'all thinking about doing crime, leave it alone. Do something else. Figure out something else. Figure out something else, cause there's more important things to do. For real. It's more things to do than just being outside stealing. You know it don't belong to you. Don't take it. Leave it alone. Robbing people that work for theirs and you know that don't belong to you. Leave it alone. If you got a disagreement with somebody sometime, man, be like, man, I ain't even think about it, man. As long as they stay over there, I'm gonna stay over here. Avoid it sometime. It's better. So you don't have to worry about them police out there. Don't go out looking for nobody. Things of that nature, man. There's so many things I can name that can make the police say, man, we out there every day. Ain't nobody really doing nothing. Why are we wasting our time being out here? That's what y'all got to make them say, DC, for real. The ones who choose to live in disaster areas asking for handouts every 5 minutes are the ones that choose not to be responsible for themselves. Yeah, but you got people that ask for handouts in a whole bunch of other places besides disaster areas, whatever a disaster area is. DC, LA, New York City, Miami, Chicago, Cleveland, Alabama. Get ready. Ohio, Portland, Seattle, Boston. Yeah, get ready. If this worked for them, they getting ready to try the other areas. And I don't want to see them in New York with none of that. And this, right now, everybody that's seeing this in their cities, y'all need to be prepared and figure out a way. We got to call this the Kill 'em with Kindness project. Kill the Police with Kindness project. Peter Meatwagon said, the ones that choose to live in those areas and prepare with what they are giving and then don't ask for handouts are actually responsible for themselves. Don't take anyone violating your human rights, Benito said. That's a fact. But know how to move accordingly when the police are violating your human rights. You have no wins. Don't argue. Just, all right, am I being detained? You're locking me up for something. All right, well, just put your hands behind your back kindly, man. And sometimes that don't even work. They'll unalive you with your hands behind your back, tase you with your hands behind your back, beat on you. That's why you just got to put your hands behind your back and say, I don't answer questions, and just be quiet from there on out. I need to talk to my lawyer. That's it. That's it. We got to put the Killer with Kindness project out. Not using weapons. Using your morals. Using your smart insight. Smart intellect is how you win in situations like this. It's time to smarten up fast right now. Come on, DC. Smarten up fast right now. If you feel you mad, got a problem, stay in the house because you're going to walk outside. If you're going to get a sandwich, a bag of potato chips, the way the police looking up there and the government looking up there, they are everywhere. So don't think that you're going to be better than somebody else and think you're going to walk right through the middle of all the bull crap, especially if you think you're going somewhere with a weapon on you. That you just opening yourself up to be put in a cage and then you don't have no wins. So sit back and figure out, like, man, it ain't even worth me arguing and fighting with this guy. Even though you mad, you have a right to be mad. The other person might have a right to be mad, however it may go. Don't be outside with none of that. If you're going somewhere, make sure you know where you're going. Make sure you are prepared to say where you're going. Make sure you have your IDs on you. And that's just that, man. People don't want to admit it, but if every man for themselves is showing up in DC, then we as people is the fruit of what the world is coming to. And being on the end of asking for a handout is not it. No, you shouldn't be asking. You got to work for what you want. And not only that, sometimes you need to ask people, but I know it's hard. I mean, some people don't mind asking, but a lot of people don't. But you do need to work so you don't have to ask. Stay busy working and focusing on your family. Facts. That street coach is dead. Let's get this money with LLCs. Exactly. And you know, street money is just fast, but you go to jail fast. LLC money take longer. You gotta put things together. But at the end of the rainbow, at the end of the tunnel, when the smoke clears, you smiling because you got an LLC. You ain't got 10,000 overnight, but you made 10,000 in maybe a month. But that's good money. You just gotta budget your way of life. That's it. And you could do the same thing that people with the same thing that other people that got money do. You could do the same thing. Just gotta budget your money correctly and enjoy life. That's a fact. And that's just how it goes, people. So yeah, man, I'm getting ready to roll out. It was good talking with y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. I'll be back. I got something to do as usual. I try to mix it all up, but I'm gonna come back and we're gonna have another deep conversation, man. So make sure y'all hit that notification button so you'll know when I'm up here. Please subscribe if y'all new to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, man, for real. 100 to y'all, man. And DC, don't forget, it's called the Killing with Kindness Project. We not arguing with police, nothing. Be kind, be nice. Killing with kindness. Don't worry about that. Not with weapons. With morals and respect. That's it. See y'all in a minute, man.